Hi, I'm Eric Dewey from the Socially Awkward Studios, Science and Beer, and Her Majesty's Secret Podcast, and you're listening to another proud presentation of the Four-Eyed Radio Network. Check out more shows at foureyedradio.com. Hey there, Eric here from Socially Awkward Studios, and this Four-Eyed Radio presentation is being proudly brought to you by Raven Designs, illustration and design that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com.
What's up, everybody? This is Nancy from Appropriately Inappropriate. Across from me is...
Kevin Elliott.
Not a question. Thanks for coming back. We have a guest today. His name's Dan, and I'm going to play you a bit that was inspired by Dan, and we'll get into that in a minute. But first, listen.
Seriously, tell me. So, look at this oil. It makes my beard shine, but the new butter makes it gloss, right?
Seriously?
Uber greasy.
It's greasy.
Check this. Have you seen this dumb shit on Facebook? They called it lumbersexual. Bitch, if I wanted to chop a tree, I'd get some calluses. I look fucking pretty. That's my job.
Seriously? Lumberjacks?
I'm talking no. Not today.
This tattoo represents the struggle with my parents.
Oh.
You know, they don't understand why I wear skinny jeans. Man, you fucking condition your beard?
Yeah, with pussy juice.
All right, Dan, so why'd you shave your beard?
I shaved my beard because, one, I was getting a little uncomfortable looking at my face every morning. I started seeing what other people were seeing, and two, I don't know, it was I guess it was inspired by being single again. I was like, the beard I kind of kept.
New beginnings.
Exactly. I cleaned my room and I cleaned my face. I liked my room. I regretted my face. So.
All right.
No, I grew the beard because an ex liked it, and I was also just, I think, insecure with my own masculinity. It was just, let me see how far I can take this. But I would get the whole hipster thing because it was a shitty beard. It was
You had
just,
to condition it.
It was wispy, and it wasn't that. I mean, at a certain light, you couldn't tell it was even there.
Could
sometimes.
you grow it 100%?
No, it was terrible. It was patchy. Yeah.
No. Who was that celebrity?
It was patches.
Spencer Pratt. He had that weird clear beard.
Ugh.
It was
yeah, I know
there,
what
but
you mean.
It wasn't.
It's translucent.
Weird.
No, mine was it was very unimpressive. Didn't get past a certain length, and you could see blonde and red hairs amongst the black.
Yeah, because you have dark hair.
Mine's red.
And you have black hair.
Yeah.
You have black hair?
You're
Well,
real
brownish.
dad's
No,
a
okay,
ginger.
Yeah. But my beard has a red tint.
No, yeah,
No,
your
it's
beard makes me think that you have red hair.
Right?
Yeah, I don't think.
Are you a ginger?
No,
Does your beard
maybe
match
just from
your
the
drapes?
jaw.
Does your ball beard
the
match
cheek.
the chin beard?
No.
Color
Do you have
is-
black
what
pubes and then
color are
a
the
red?
pubes?
No, the
Like
bottom
red-
is red.
red sack.
Blonde,
Yeah.
every color.
Does your
My cheeks burn very easy. I don't understand.
Does your dick also look like Despicable Me, where it's just down there?
That's his profile.
Oh, there you go.
Takes it on down.
That's awesome. Before we get any further.
I'm sorry.
Oh, all right. So, yeah, guys, follow me on Twitter at Kevin_Elliott. Shows coming up the rest of January. You guys can relax. I don't think I'm doing anything in Phoenix. February 12th and 15th, House of Comedy with Jen Kober. And mid-March is so far the date that I got from Brant. That'll be Tucson, Goodyear, Phoenix, Flagstaff. I'll give you those exact dates when I get them. And come out to those because those are going to be incredible. Again, filming the whole thing. From waking up to going to sleep, everything is being filmed. From the audience side, the comedian side, the backstage, everything. And then I think Brant's going to post it on YouTube or something every week. So you can just watch every week as he goes from city to city, which is 60 cities. But I'm only doing the 4 for now. Yeah.
Quite a tour.
Really cool. Okay, so enough about me. Nancy?
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram at Nancy and
Garrigus.
Garrigus. I got so close.
She never gets it right. Okay, and Dan Amaro is our guest. Dan Amaro, where can everybody find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter at Dan Amaro Comedy. Also on Instagram, Dan_Amaro_comedy. And it's Amaro, Amaro.
And we
Very
just
easy.
posted a picture with all of his information to my Instagram.
Awesome.
It's a good picture.
I love it. We are pretty sexy, I'm not going to lie.
Sexy group.
It's a cute group.
Different kinds
They
of
phased
hair
me out.
Yeah.
They literally put Gru in my place. Okay. I'm trying to do two things at once, not working out.
Don't do that.
So, let's see. I almost got in a car accident on the way here.
Why?
Yeah. I was driving on Shea, and there was enough car. I don't know. The car in front of me was maybe 4 car lengths ahead, maybe 5. I have cat-like reflexes, thank God. This person came up to the light and just didn't stop and made a right turn, and I was in the right lane, so just turned right in front of me. And as I saw it kind of start to happen, I hit the brakes. And then a thing went in my head. I'm like, shit, do I just keep going and let this guy hit me? Like, get some money out of it? No.
Like someone was going to hit you from behind?
No, from the side.
Oh, okay.
But I stopped, and then I just laid on the horn the whole, until they turned. I just sat on the horn the entire time. I had no idea. The horn on my car is very feminine and strikes no fear in anybody, dude. Some guy drove past laughing. I was like, this is so embarrassing.
Honk this or
It's
fuck
the
you.
sound of a whistle.
Yeah. So, yeah, I gotta get a new horn.
No, please don't.
It's totally no. It just goes.
Don't hit me.
I'm gay. It's like no, don't say that about me, car.
My brother,
There's anything wrong with that.
my brother got into an accident last week, and he's doing all right now. So nothing somber or anything. No, yeah, he's fine. But he did land in the hospital, and we were all kind of in a serious moment, kind of reflecting on everything going on. And he had just gotten back from surgery, and he couldn't eat solid food or drink anything.
Sounds like a dietitian's dream.
Yeah.
Wait, so he had surgery before the accident?
No, he had surgery after the accident.
okay.
Yeah, so he got in an accident and needed surgery, broke his leg and other stuff. But it's I said, he's at home.
Is your
He's at
brother
home
Michael
healing.
Palladino?
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
I think that's
poor
catching
guy.
on. Palladino disease.
Now, car
He
accident.
has
looks so
he has
cool.
the walker and everything too. As soon as I saw him, I was like,
Shit.
God damn
I don't-
it!
That's not trending now.
We just dealt with this. Come on, man.
Stop
As a
milking it.
community.
Is this a thing now? Are we going to be that hipster? He's kind of hipster, but he got in the accident, and I remember it was a really somber moment. We were all sitting there in his hospital room, and the nurse comes in, and she's like, "Hey, we're gonna have to feed you a suppository." Feed you.
Feed it up his ass?
Yeah,
or-
yeah. So they had to.
But that's
and
a suppository.
No, yeah, they have to stick a large pill up there, and
large?
Feed it up
I
there.
didn't see it. I wasn't
Okay, 'cause
really.
you're
I
doing
wasn't.
this, and I
Yeah.
was like, that's a dick.
No, yeah.
on the end of
And, in
a
some
selfie
cultures that is a
stick.
dick. That is a dick.
I'm Jewish. It's my culture.
Yeah, I'm big in Japan, so I think. But it got quiet, and we're all kind of turned away because we don't want to embarrass him by watching the suppository, and it gets really quiet, and then I just say, "Wait, so his asshole gets to eat before his mouth does?"
They're doing it
And
backwards.
yeah, exactly. And my parents found that funny, but the doctors did not find that funny at all. They were just kind of like, "Okay."
It would
we
be
get it.
great if he then just started puking out of his mouth. It's like,
Oh,
it did. It
Jesus.
just happened.
Like actual
So
food,
weird,
like
yeah.
plates of salad.
It's in reverse.
I
I
had
don't
there
know
was
what's
corn in that
happening.
pill. What the fuck
Yeah.
is this? Man, that's crazy. They couldn't IV or something. Like, don't.
They did. I think this. I don't know what the suppository was
Because
for.
It's gotta be
the
vitamins or
pain
something,
Yeah, I
meds
think
or
so.
Whatever, heavy
Maybe.
medication makes you.
He was telling me that it would slip out occasionally, and they would have to roll him back over and pop it back in, only to have it slip out. So after a few times,
Well, if he couldn't put it back in himself, he must have been seriously injured.
oh no, yeah, he was a bit messed up. But like I said, he's at home now. He's fine. I'm not trying to
Healing.
I'm not trying to ride the pity train here, where it's like, family tragedy.
No, dude, that
But-
still sucks. I mean,
No, it does suck.
It's a lot
It
of
does
work for
suck.
you, if anything.
Yeah, but we hung out today. I went to his apartment to pick up his Xbox and his laptop.
the essentials.
Right.
So you can jerk off and play video games. It's perfect. Yeah, that's what you need to do
That's how you heal.
in the living room of your parents' house. That's that's classic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like a sitcom episode, really.
Yeah.
Right?
I was just thinking you, me, and Dupree, or whatever
Yeah,
that movie is.
they got to babysit him.
So Dan,
Yes.
normally, every time we have a comic come in every week, and it's a friend of ours that I've met from doing comedy, this, that, and the other. Now, you and I are friends, but I am more of a fan of yours than I am a friend.
Thank you.
Dude, you're one of the funniest fucking people ever in the world.
I appreciate it.
And your stand-up, I say this to a few people, but this is legit and I actually mean it. When you go up, I always run in and see your set, dude, because you're funny as fuck. So where, first of all, how old are you? Because I don't know how old you are.
I'm 25.
Damn, these young fucking kids,
I know,
man.
I'm sorry.
God.
I'm so used to hearing that.
I was just about to get out of comedy at that age. So don't do what I did. Don't do
No,
that.
but you've accomplished a lot more than I have at that.
Yeah, well, I've been around.
Yeah.
But for you, and this is so stupid because I want to get into a certain topic, and we will. So I think this is how I'm going to go about it. How old were you when you first did stand-up?
I was 22 because this month is going to be my 3rd year doing it.
Okay, cool,
Yeah,
dude, cool.
so-
Now, after that first time, did you keep going, or did you do it one time and then just stop?
Oh, no, it's interesting. When I got started in stand-up, I had already been working at Stand Up Live, and I had the opportunity to talk to a lot of...
Which, by the way, Stand Up Live is probably the 3rd best club in the country.
Yeah,
and it's
it's
right
huge.
here in Phoenix.
It's really
It's
big.
fucking awesome.
Yeah,
It's just
big.
nice. I mean, it's nice. It's great. It's perfect for the comedians, the crowd, everything. It's
Yeah.
one of the best clubs in the country.
I loved it. No, it was a great spot. Gave me the opportunity to talk to people. The first comedians I remember talking to were the Sklar brothers, and I was a dishwasher back then, but I was infatuated with comedy before I even got the job. And I remember talking to them about just what they've done in the past as growing comedians and what they do now as
they go on
established
stage
comedians.
together?
Yeah, they're that's their whole shtick is kind of going up together and playing off each other. And I took an improv class, and for the final we could either do a monologue or a 5-minute stand-up bit. So I was like, let me tell a 5-minute stand-up bit. And the first bit I ever told was this story about how I was hanging out with a friend, and we were unemployed, and we ended up smoking a lot of hash and drinking and eating pizza. And I got so nauseous.
I did 2 out of 3 of those last week.
Yeah, perfect.
And everybody knows I don't smoke weed. So
No, yeah.
drink and ate pizza.
Hey, I never said I didn't smoke hash.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
So that's how out of the drug game I am.
I like pizza.
I think I saw
who
it on that
doesn't?
show Weeds once.
Yeah.
And they had to put it in the dryer.
I went to a Fish concert. That was about it. Got a contact high. But all that mixture did not sit well with me, and my first joke was essentially about how I got diarrhea and then puked at the same time. And yeah,
Settled the debate of the century.
Yeah.
So many people say, "Can you do it at the same time?"
oh, you can do it at the same time.
Okay, wow.
Oh, it was horrible because I was limited in my options. I'm already painting the bowl, and the hash is still kicking in. I'm getting nauseous, and I'm looking around, and there's a basket next to me, but it's a wicker wastebasket. That's a bad
So
idea.
It's just gonna seep through.
The sink is a little too high, so if I lift off, everything below me is just, yeah. So I look at the bathtub.
You line it with your shirt. You line the basket with your shirt.
No, I like my shirt. So, but I look at the bathtub, and I figure that's a viable option. I side saddle on the toilet and go to the bathtub. And as I'm going to the bathtub, everything that I just ate within the last half hour is coming out, and I'm at this point I'm just stuck in the stench of hell. Just the worst thing you could ever imagine. And I'm trying to clean up my mess, but the toilet won't flush because I guess it was bad. And
Been there, my friend.
yeah, and the bathtub, it was
Dude, I
too
clogged
much
the toilet
pizza.
from peeing.
Holy shit!
Hey,
I think that's a clutch.
that goes without saying. I'm gross.
Oh, okay.
That was a weird conversation between me and my friend's mom at their house. It was, Anyways, go ahead.
Okay. So I look at the bathtub, and that's not going anywhere because it's recently eaten pizza. They're still in slice form. I guess I don't chew my food
There's
because
no
they're just
garbage
solid.
disposal in the bathtub.
Yeah, exactly. So my pants
It
are
looks
on my
like it's
ankles.
cut up for a child.
Oh,
Coming
yeah.
out of the pizzas.
Okay, wait. There are things off limits from now on.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Just kidding.
So I'm stuck trying to clean it up, and at this point, it's been so long that my buddy and his dad are knocking on the door, and at one point, I just finally give up and open the door and say I'm sorry before I let them clean up the rest of the mess, and I leave the room to go lie down.
Now, is this a result of the hash?
I think it's the result of the hash and the drinking.
Okay.
You know, like I said, we were unemployed, so we kind of had nothing better to do other than sit in the backyard and smoke hash, and we pushed our limits. And then we had a few beers, and this kid can drink. I couldn't.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
and then
that'll
$5 pizza from Little Caesars. I think that's. I think
So that was like
that
the
is
perfect
Got
trifecta.
that
Yep.
last night, man.
That was
Okay.
a
Okay,
cherry
so
on
if we ever do these things, just not together.
exactly.
So individually.
It's not a recipe for
safe.
success. Yeah.
Okay.
One night's hash, one night's drinking.
So Drunk Rob, who I brought up on the show a few times, he's the only other person I've known to be shitting and throwing up at the same time. He did not have the same game plan as
Jesus.
you. He thought that he could make it into the toilet while he was shitting, so he spread his legs and held himself kind of back, and he missed everything. He ended up in the bathtub as a person. The throw up was all over him, dude. It was a bad. Man, he's such a cool guy. So, anyways, back to you with the 5 minute. You told that story for your. part of the 5
I
minutes.
told that, and that went terrible. That went
Well,
terrible.
it crushed here. Too.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, I'm standing up right now.
It was terrible. It was in front of a class of students that were preparing monologues and other theatrical.
Oh, so they didn't even
Bits.
give a shit. They weren't listening.
Exactly. So when I told it, it was kind of just blank stares. But then that was
Your teacher took notes, though.
Oh, yeah, the
She's
teacher
Like, okay, so don't do this.
Little Caesar's bad idea. Never
Maybe
happening.
Domino's.
Yeah, maybe I should have eaten Domino's. I wasn't unemployed. That's a rich man. That's a rich man's pizza. I can't afford Domino's. Now I can. But the next class was the final exam, and I remember doing the rehearsal in the blue. But the next class, and this was an important lesson when I did stand up later on, was this classmate brought a friend over to watch the monologues for the final. And after kind of already getting more nervous again because I bombed the last time, there's no way I'm going to do well this time, I started singling out this one guy who didn't know the joke and told him as if I was telling a story to you guys. So it didn't become about how I, make it jokey or how I make it a bit. It was more just let me tell this one stranger that time I shit and puked in a bathtub and see where it goes. And by the end of it, the guy started laughing and I felt more natural just kind of delivering it. So it was a kind of an interesting way to learn how to get more comfortable on stage rather than just be,
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
hacky or,
And
yeah.
you told strangers literally the worst thing that's ever happened
Yeah.
to you. So it can really only get better from there.
Exactly. Yeah. If you start from
Unless
the bottom.
they were there as an audience while that was happening.
If
Then it could literally
my
only
buddy
get
was
better from
there. The guy who was in that
Is he
story.
still your friend?
Yeah, he's still my friend. His name is Nick, but he was there in that class because he liked that I was going to tell that story. He wasn't ashamed of it. He just thought it was really funny that him and his dad had to clean my shit and vomit from the
Oh, my
bathtub.
God.
Yeah,
One girl has
that's
that
a good
story.
friend. No,
She may have that story. But
I bet
she
you have a
doesn't
pretty gross
have-
story. I know you have a pretty gross
Yeah.
story. As a girl, I have a lot of friends that are girls. They have some gross stories. Once you
Everybody
get in
has
that
a gross
mood,
story.
Everyone does.
Yeah,
but
once you
my
get in that
point
mood.
is, guys have gross stories.
Oh, that's
hey,
true. We're just
not
what's your
afraid
top
to
three?
share.
And girls are like, I got nothing.
no, you have some. What's that one story where you're like, oh, I shouldn't have peed my pants or? Yeah.
You're too ashamed.
I don't know if you guys are ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
I
Yeah,
don't think
I
you're
just told
ready.
you a story about shitting and puking in the
Yeah.
bathtub.
And that's 20
That's
minutes of my
embarrassing.
material is shitting,
Ugh.
which I was told
We
by
talked
another
about
comic
him
to
blowing out a
never.
toilet with his pee. I think.
My job is to laugh. He's gross. I just laugh.
okay.
That's the dynamic.
Your face is
gotcha.
so red. Dude. Nancy is so embarrassed.
Girls do nasty stuff. I remember one time in
I'm
college.
this embarrassed just thinking about it.
Oh yeah. I remember one time in college, I was hanging out with this chick, and she lived in a dorm, and we got smashed. And we'd already been hanging out in a different nature, but we were walking back to her dorm and completely wasted. And I go to the restroom because I had to pee really bad. And as I'm about ready to go urinate, she sits on the toilet and she goes, "I have to pee too. Why don't you just pee between my legs and we'll just pee together?" And I was like, what? And for a minute, I have my dick out, like aiming, and I was like, this might happen. But at the last second, I was like, I don't have the facilities for this. This is not going to work. And I just left the restroom and let her go first. And so I know you girls
Missed
can be.
opportunities.
Oh, I know. I could have opened up a new world for me. I could have just explored a different dimension
I had no
that I'd
idea.
never.
World of
Oh my
shower
gosh.
to her.
It's a power thing at this point. I should have done it. I regret it.
She wishes you would have done it. I bet you anything.
I don't see nothing wrong. I missed
I
it.
like him.
love
Where'd
it.
you find this guy?
Dude, I told
like
you.
him.
Bigger fan than a friend. I think he's the funniest dude ever.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I guess that was then your first time doing stand-up at this class.
Yeah.
How long? Like, all right. When it comes to comedy classes, if it's a stand-up class or improv
There's
class,
a
I
class?
guess makes more sense.
Yeah, it was more
because
of a
improv
theater
is more.
thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't.
Do
it's
these
so
border
weird to
on like
say.
an acting class? Border.
Yeah, they
Maybe.
border. Yeah. Improv way more. I mean, that's
Yeah.
because improv is very
I've
hard
done
to
a little
do.
of that.
Yeah.
Sketch comedy and improv and that kind of thing is different than stand-ups, I guess. If you have to take a stand-up class, then just bow out now because you're just not funny. You learn from going up on
Yeah,
stage. You
that's
don't
so
learn
true,
from
yeah.
some comic that couldn't make it telling you how to do it. It's but that's my own thought. Although I've also never heard of somebody coming out of a stand-up class and then making it to be huge.
Well, they probably just won't admit they were in a stand-up class ever.
Yeah, maybe. But I've also never heard of a teacher teaching a stand-up class that's successful in stand-up. So why would you take your information from them? All right, but enough about the realness of this whole thing.
Please.
So after you do that one time in the class, do you then say like, dude, I got to go to a club?
Yeah. The benefit of working at stand up was I got to work with Eric Baez. He used to work at that club, and he was helping Andy Steinberg help.
Previous guest of the
Yeah,
show.
he's
Yeah,
cool.
he helped him run Copper Blues comedy. I also knew Andy through him. So once I did that improv class, and I kind of mentioned to those guys that I did it, I asked if I could just sign up for their Copper Blues show, and they're like, yeah, man, come on down. And so I did that same joke in front of the Copper crowd maybe a couple weeks later and ate shit again. But it inspired me to kind of push myself into other territory and kind of come up with new stories. And that's when I landed on this Wookiee joke that made me popular, or at least helped. It was a joke I was known for, and that was based off a story with me and my buddy. And he would always make fun of me for this story, and that's how I came up with that joke. And I don't know if you guys know the joke. I know you don't know the joke.
I do.
You know
Yeah.
the
Tell
joke.
it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm a big Star Wars fan, and my buddy's a huge Star Wars fan, and growing up, we became best friends throughout high school. We were 19, we were in college, we were college roommates, and we decided to throw a New Year's Eve party. And so I was single in New Year's Eve party. I'm kind of getting drunk, kind of fishing around for some, women hanging out. And I come across this girl. We were kind of geeking out together, and I was mentioning that I was a Star Wars fan. And she was going, "That's great. I'm a Star Wars fan too. I actually have this Wookiee keychain." So I was like, "Oh, that's sweet," And we kept talking, and we go to the bathroom, and we start, fooling around, and I get to first base. That's great. I get to, yeah, exactly. Oh, that's
Keychain,
awesome.
girl.
I
Let's
like
hit that bathroom up. I've got stories.
Yeah, I got stories.
Use
So
force.
that's no moon. That's that ass. But we go to the bathroom, and I get to first base. That's great, and I get to second base, and I'm getting excited, and then I get to third base. And I'm sneaking my hand down there, and that's when I realized her keychain isn't the only thing with a Wookiee attached. And I'm 25, so I'm used to a whole different,
Right.
hairstyle. So this girl is au naturel, and I'm just confused and intimidated and aroused, and it's a mixture of emotions. But I just keep chugging along. I'm like, well, I'm here now. I'm enjoying myself. No one else is in this bathroom. But we go a little too long, and people start knocking on the door. So I have the bright idea, since I'm drunk. Hey, why don't you go out first? I'll hang out in the bathtub, and I'll wait until, whoever's outside the door goes to the restroom, I'll come out. I figure that'll be kind of incognito. No one would know that we're... I was a little embarrassed. No one's seen her bush, but it's like, once I felt like it was something that was known to everybody. You know what I mean? She was just wearing it.
Yeah, because now it's in your fingernail.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you were embarrassed.
I was embarrassed a little bit, but there's nothing...
Frozen.
Yeah, there's
She
nothing to
didn't
be
know
embarrassed
you're
about
supposed
now.
to shave.
Encino Man's girlfriend, man. The end of the movie.
Yeah, it's not her fault. She's been frozen.
But, Encino Man. It's my cave nug. But I love that. It was ridiculous. So I let her out, and I'm hiding in the bathtub. It turns out there was a lion waiting for the bathroom. So I'm in the
The lion was waiting for her.
So exactly, she comes out. Yeah, imagine what they would thought if they're waiting outside for half an hour and she comes out as the only person.
No.
I never thought
you need to leave because they're all waiting for me.
I never thought about that. That's great. A girl walks out of the bathroom after like half an hour all by herself. There's nothing she's doing.
Yeah, she draws a line.
Exactly. So I'm waiting in the bathtub, and for half an hour, I'm listening to everybody in that party do their business. I'm not kidding you. I'm just stuck there, quiet as a mouse, just hiding. Like in that scene in I Am Legend when he's holding the dog, just like, don't wake them. But I was just chilling in the bathtub, and I finally get out. And then at this point, I missed my turn in beer pong. People are like, yo, Dan, we did some shots. Where were you?
Bummer.
High five. And I was like, no, don't high five me. I knew who washed their hands and who didn't. So I was just like, no, don't touch me. I'm out of this game.
Yeah.
I drew myself a bath and just kind of relaxed for a while.
Got a twitch going on. But as I'm leaving the party later that night, she came up to me and she goes, hey, I had such a great time tonight. I wanted to give you a little reminder. And so now I still have this on my keychain, and it's this Wookiee keychain.
God, you do.
And he's missing arms and legs because he's that old. I was 19. I'm 25 now.
Wow.
And that was my little
That's
reminder.
cool, dude. That's pretty
Yeah. So that was a joke that got me big because I was so embarrassed by the story, and I told my buddy who hosted the party all about that night, and he goes, hey, Han, how's Chewie doing? Or, you going to make the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs? Or are you going to finger her? And I was like, no, dude, shut up. So it was just all these, jokes and...
Star Wars puns.
Yeah, after I had after I got into the hobby that I can apply them to, I was like, why don't I just tell some of these? And that worked out for me. It kind of...
Good thing she hooked up with, a black barber.
Yeah.
Come out with dreadlocks.
Onward Newton haircut, just the fucking high top.
It's like, oh my God, you didn't touch me, but... Look at the hairstyle down there.
Soul
I like that
glow.
sweet fade you got going on.
Yeah.
Did you ever see in Living Color?
Oh, yeah.
Remember the Soul Glow?
Oh,
The
yeah.
hair, and they're all sitting on the couch. They get off the couch. And
Oh, that's Coming to
Yeah,
America,
it's Coming
right?
to
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I meant to say.
No,
What
but
did
it's
I say?
all
In
good.
Living
In
Color?
Living Color.
Yeah,
I remember in Living
no,
Color, too.
America. That's
Yeah.
I watch Coming to America
one.
at
Let
least
your
once
soul
every 3 months.
That's a good
It's
one.
so funny.
It is.
So, all right. People, first of all, Copper Comedy is an open mic, but it's like a booked open mic, and then they do the sign-ups or something. 3
Yeah.
minutes afterwards. Really, the topic I want to get into is open mics,
Yeah.
especially in Phoenix, because it's different. I shouldn't say that. It's kind of the same all over the place. More LA and New York is very different in comparison. Mm-hmm. But Phoenix open mics, you get so much opportunity to do time. Like, it's incredible. Now, we don't have as many open mics as Los Angeles and New York, where you can do 3 to 9 sets in one night. But you also don't have, a 3-minute window or a lottery that they do.
Yeah,
you
I was
actually
gonna say.
get up and do 5,
So
7
you'll
minutes.
get
Yeah,
to
there's
get
an
up before 3
asterisk.
a.m. is
There's
what
an
you're
asterisk
saying.
next to that whole 3 to 5 times a night because, unless you know.
Yeah, you have to
that
know the guys
person.
that run it.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be, like you said, you're going to be doing the potluck, you're going to be doing the raffle, you're going to be barking on the street for I don't know, bringer shows. I think it's a good scene. There's definitely different pockets of it. Like, there's the Glendale folk, you know what I mean, where they do most of the shows out there. There's the downtown Phoenix area.
Yeah.
Which kind of seeps into the Tempe a bit because, you'll find the same guys going there.
Yeah, for sure. What of all these mics that we do. What's your favorite one?
I think now it's going to be the turf. But I don't know. It's really difficult. Starting out, it was Copper in Phoenix because that was just my home club. I knew every Tuesday I could make it. And then it branched out. And then turf, which is run by my good friend Eric, is my favorite now because I've gone there consistently enough. And then I just started out a friend over there. I just signed her up, and she killed it a couple weeks ago, and then we did it last Monday, and we did great. We had a great time. We invited a bunch of friends, so it's something that's not only allowed me to go up and enjoy, but it's also allowed me to bring other people and make them enjoy it as well. And it's that's pretty awesome. But every room's great, man. Stand up, that's where I first met you, Stand Up Scottsdale.
Yeah.
That place was awesome because it was, where a lot of the comedians came. That's why the list was so full, but you could see everybody there and just kind of talk with them, shoot the shit, and get to know other people that you've either heard of or you have seen maybe once but never caught their name. And then from there, Chop and Walk became something I wanted to do every week, and I like doing that, which is tonight.
Yeah.
You doing that tonight?
Yeah, excuse me. And first of all, the turf is Monday nights at
the turf.
I know what time.
It's at
9?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
10 p.m. And I did it for the first time that night. I saw you a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because I can never do Mondays or Tuesdays. But Mondays, there's the turf, and I don't know if there's anything else on Mondays.
Isn't Ice House still going?
Maybe. I've never done it.
I've never done it either, but I want to. There's so many other rooms that I want to do, but it's just I don't know. Sometimes it's difficult to get to them. Or
Tuesdays are a big night. Tuesdays are Copper Comedy, which is now right next to the Tempe Improv.
Yep.
It was next to Stand Up Live downtown. They moved it over to Tempe Improv. There's House of Comedy, which has their open mic, except those. The one at House of Comedy it's not really an open mic. It is in a sense where if you just shoot the guy a message and be like, dude, can I get on for a Tuesday? You'll get on without them knowing anything about you. But it is a booked show. You can't just show up and say, hey, where do I sign up?
Do they do a certain number of people? Sometimes we've been to stand up and it's an open mic and there's 20 people.
Yeah.
Or do they do a cap
number?
No,
House of Comedy has a cap number. Although recently, 1 or 2 people always they don't show up or they drop out or something.
Okay.
So if they if you're hanging out and you're a comic and they know you, they'll put you on.
Do you ever feel obligated to stay the whole time?
No.
When it's there's 20,
you know what? Yeah, I feel bad.
If you have a buddy or something, or like you said, you feel bad where it's just a dead room, and you're like, I want to give this guy one chance to make me at least chuckle in the back, and then I'm gonna leave.
Like I did last night. I was up first, and I just went up. I did my set, and I'm like, but I had to make it to another show by 9, and the show had started late that I was at, so I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I feel bad going up first and then leaving because it's you don't support anybody else that's here. And I hate that because I do, but they don't know.
Say out loud
they don't know that I have
starts,
somewhere else to
just
be.
so you
it's
guys
just the
know,
guy that
I have an emergency. Grandma needs help or something. To move someone.
You're just treating everybody like they're your girlfriend. It's I'm so sorry, baby. I just gotta make an announcement.
I
gotta pick up
nobody else. I swear.
I gotta help my friend move.
I made an appointment. It's just I gotta go. You are fucking another room, aren't you? Just sticking her dick all up in that mic, asshole. It's not what it looks like. She loves me more.
Oh, I accidentally licked the microphone last night.
Oh,
total
but you were
accident.
the first one, though, right?
Yeah,
Thankfully.
but it's not like they wiped down the microphone.
You're gonna get
I was telling everybody, I'm like, I'm sick, and somebody a comic yelled out from the back, and they're like, "Oh, great, and you're first up." And I was like, "Oh, it's not like I'm gonna lick the microphone." And I went, and I did. I was like, "Oh no, I didn't mean to do that." Kill him! Yeah. You know how many STDs I'm carrying right now?
Sneezing into someone's mouth.
I felt awful, man. Ran my mouth under hot water with just nothing but Purell in my face. I swallowed it. I didn't even just
Gargles with vodka.
I swallowed Purell. It was disgusting. Yeah.
Someone goes up with one of those bird flu masks.
Not even Asian.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why I said bird flu mask. I could have just said medical mask, but it's just like no one else would get that. For some reason, they make
God.
medical masks.
Every time I walk by somebody that has that on, I'm like, I get it. You should be wearing that around me.
I appreciate it, but you look fucking weird. It's like you're doing me a favor. It's like a condom. It's like
Wear
I get it, but
Wear it
you
over your
look dumb.
crotch, though.
Yeah.
It's not going to do you any good around your mouth, let me tell you.
Yeah. Should probably just stay home to begin with.
Every
Why'd
time
you
I
do
see
it?
one, I'm like, you must be dynamite in bed.
Oh, geez.
Keep walking. Fuck off.
Yeah. Actually, that's kind of kinky. Just cut a hole in
Does
there
that keep your mouth
and see
shut
what
from
happens.
talking?
Like a
Because I mean,
dental
hey.
dam.
So
So yeah.
yeah, Tuesdays are House of Comedy and Copper Comedy and Bridget's Last Laugh is one. That's another one.
Grand Avenue Pizza with
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Leslie Barton.
So
should
it's
run
like
that.
the four corners of
Yeah.
Phoenix. I haven't been to the Grand Avenue one.
I haven't either, but I want to make it a point to go out there.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
been to Grand Avenue?
Yeah, I did
Wow.
bikini. I did Bikini Lounge
I
on
heard that's
Saturday
awful,
at 10 on the 10th.
Is it shitty?
Well, I was glad to be invited. First off, I want to say that, like, I was glad to be invited. It was as a comic, the time is appreciated. You're like, hey, a room I haven't done. That's exciting. So I was excited for it. But yeah, it was Bikini Lounge. I knew what to expect. It's a dive bar. It has a lot of character in it, but sometimes that character isn't the best. That character will stab you in the back and then fucking take some of the change out of your pocket
Jab
to
you
buy
on the way to
another
the
fucking
car.
beer. Yeah.
Stay away from the avenues. This is Grand
Yeah.
Avenue.
This is the grandest of the avenues.
Yeah. Maybe I'm busy that day.
So far, we've made the news more than any other avenue. So I'm just letting everybody know we're the grandest. 50 years running. So hopefully nobody takes
the
our
grand
crown.
of the avenues. Maybe
I
not.
don't mean to shit on the west side of Phoenix, but I do. I don't go anywhere in the
yeah.
avenues. I
There's
just don't.
nothing
I
really
don't
good
go.
about the west side of Phoenix.
Thank
They're
God
all
the
too great.
stadiums downtown are at 3rd Street and then to the
yeah.
left. 3rd and
Yeah.
7th.
And
we're
even
good.
like the Cardinal Stadium is like on the west side, but it's so far west that you're not even going to see anybody out there. It's just
Brand
like,
new, too. It's nice out
like, we
there.
get
once you
it.
hit 100th Avenue, you're like,
Yeah.
it's more like streets out here
It's
now.
safe, yeah.
It starts over. It's like the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like a complete fresh start.
But they had a group of older dudes called the Hell's Saints hanging out.
What, are they like a knockoff?
I don't
Hells
know.
Angels?
Yeah, I was
Angels?
like, these are a bunch of middle-aged guys hanging out at a bar.
graduated
I don't
from
know if they're
rehab.
bikers because there's no bikes outside. There's a bunch of minivans, so maybe it's like a PTA
The
game,
hell, I would think that Hell's Angels would find out about that and murder all of them.
right?
It's
Hell's
probably
Saints
like
is like
their
a Korean
kids.
knockoff
I
of
know
like
but
Hell's Angels.
It's got to be their like hipster kids, and they're like, my Hell's
yeah.
Angel dad sucked, so we're gonna like
No,
do it
no
right.
kid is saying that about their dad. If he's
No,
a Hell's
yeah.
Angel.
Maybe.
Hell's Angel make Sons of Anarchy look like the biggest pussies in the world.
Okay,
They're
well,
so
there's-
fucking scary.
Although that would be funny seeing like a hipster version of a Hell's Angel
That's
where it's
what
like,
a
I'm not
Hell's
going to kill you with a
Saints.
knife. I'm going to kill you with like high interest
Kindness.
rates and I work in finance. So I'm going to
Let
fuck
me
your
give you
life
this
up
loan, I'm gonna
permanently.
Fuck you over in
Yeah.
5 years.
They can't run you off the road in traffic. They all drive hybrids.
Exactly.
So, I mean, the Harley wins.
They just
every time.
report your license plate for reckless driving and they fuck you over in the long run. Hell Saints, bitch. Fuck with me.
But they all
I'll give
wear
you a
boots.
subpoena.
We're doing
Yeah.
God's work.
Yeah, we're doing God in hell. Wait.
Whatever, man. I don't
dude.
understand what our name means
Hell's
anymore.
Semantics, yeah.
We're, like,
Hipsters
really
don't
good in
believe
hell.
in
That's what it means, I
Hell,
guess. I
because
don't-
that's like a form of bullying. That's like religious bullying. So that's not a thing for them.
For hipsters? I feel like, yeah, it's like a passive
Haven't
aggressive.
you heard like the act of organized religion is on its way out? Like it's
Is it?
slowly dying. Yeah, I mean,
What does that mean?
well, now like your generation, the 25-year-olds,
Yeah.
really don't believe in organized religion. So it's like a hipster thing.
I
Like
feel
no
like,
one's going to
yeah,
bully
I-
them,
I-
not
I-
even God.
That's interesting. I definitely see that more in like media or like just in places where you'd find people my age congregating, those kind of topics. I guess.
Yeah, people
But
your age aren't
I
going
get
to
it.
church.
I feel like someone who grew up Catholic, but also grew up amongst the whole atheism is a trend.
Yeah.
agnostic is when you believe in a higher being, but you don't.
See, I believe
Yeah.
that religion's the biggest form of bullying, and hipsters don't believe in
Oh
bullying.
no, yeah,
So,
I feel yeah.
I mean, I think
I
religion's
don't.
out.
I don't
think the
consider
biggest form
myself
of
a
bullying is
Catholic.
beating somebody up
Yeah.
for really no reason, right?
Jesus is your savior, punk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see,
Indian burn.
you know, but like the older generations, like religion based on fear, you
Yeah.
know, but hipsters don't believe in that. So
Interesting.
I've heard organized religion's really struggling.
Yeah.
More than it used to financially.
I've never been cool
because that's
enough.
what it is.
I've never been cool enough to be a hipster. I grew up as a
Oh.
band geek, and I
You
just.
were a band geek.
Oh, I was a band geek.
Did
Like
you have an
in
instrument?
school band geek, or
Oh,
you
yeah.
like in a band and you?
Oh, that
You were
came
kinda
later.
geeky.
I was in concert band, middle school, all through high school. I did marching band.
What?
You seem
I did
much
jazz
cooler than
band.
that.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like because I was in those environments where I wasn't cool at a young age, you kind of develop a personality. You're like, well, people aren't going to like me initially. Might as well,
Get
you know,
funny.
exactly. Either get funny
That's
or
fucked
you
up,
know.
man. That's not cool
Yeah.
from the jump, and we're doing all right. We're
Yeah,
doing
you
all
guys
right.
are pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. You guys are really cool. I'm not gonna lie.
But, you know, as a
No.
kid, I feel like I developed a sense of humor to overcome being like so shy. As a kid, I was
Yeah.
so shy, and to overcome it, I learned that being funny would get me out of any situation that I was struggling with by being shy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as doing stand-up, it's something I've always wanted to do, but I don't know that I'm funny to come up with material. I really do well in a conversation. I'm quick on my feet. That's just something I'm good at. But, you know, to actually throw material at you and make it come together, I've been practicing in the mirror, you know, and to see myself in the mirror, I'm like, wow, that is not how it went in my head at all.
Yeah.
So, but I do feel like in a conversation, I do better. So
I have
mean,
those
don't-
moments too. Like even on the way up here, I was like, okay, they're talking about stories. What stories do I have in my arsenal? What can I tell them? How would I say it? Because earlier tonight, I was picking up this beer, and some guy started talking to me in line, and I was like, this is a great opportunity to kind of, you know, do a back and forth with somebody you don't know, get pumped up for the show. And he was talking about his passport, and I was just like, oh yeah, passports. Oh, cool. Yeah, man. I hope. And I really tried to make conversation, but I had nothing in my head. I was like, everything you're saying is just something I don't give a fuck about.
To you about
I don't know.
passports?
We had initially started with just a place in line. It was a bit of a long line, and he was like, "After you," and I was like, "Oh no, I saw you coming in." He was like, "No, after you." So it was like a game of politeness. It's like, "No, after you,
Oh, I
motherfucker." And
hate
it's like,
that.
"After you."
I always just go.
Yeah.
Game.
I'm
And he
so
kept giving me
impatient.
points, which is kind of weird. He was like, "Oh no, you know, I saw you here first. That's a point for you." And you're carrying.
I think he was
you're
hitting
carrying.
on
Chris
you.
Hart.
Yeah, exactly. I really think he
was
was.
being
I think he was
molested.
hitting on me because he goes, "You have a beer, you know, and that's more important. So another point for you." And I was like, "Oh, well, you know, no worries. I'm not in a rush. I'm doing
Better
fine. You
check
can
the
go."
misconnections.
And
on
yeah,
Craigslist
exactly.
tonight.
Like, hey, cutie with the Urkel shirt, and no ass. I saw you in line with a pack of Pabst. I was getting a fucking money order cashed in from my passport. I like Detroit. What the fuck? No, I don't. I'm wearing a Detroit Tigers hat, by the way, if anyone didn't know. And the
let's
reason I'm
describe
wearing
it.
it,
And an Urkel shirt.
and an Urkel
And an
shirt,
Urkel
yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the shirt, and I'm like, I know
Thank
that
you.
guy.
So
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
The reason I'm wearing the hat though is because I always see you with hats.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't usually wear too many hats unless, you know, I just woke up and I don't want to take a shower or, you know, it's windy outside. That's it. But tonight I was like, he always wears hats. I'm going to wear a hat. And then I saw you today and I was like, damn it, he has no hat.
I am going to when
Yeah.
we get to the job.
Yeah,
I'm wearing one,
exactly.
but normally no. Usually I always wear a hat.
But you're wearing a Ninja Turtle shirt, which is great. No, that's
Son-
great.
My son picked this out, and then he calls it out. He's like, "You gonna wear that shirt today?" I'm like, yeah, I guess. I was on Hinchcliffe's podcast,
Oh,
and
what? Really? Which one?
Yeah, the Kill Tony one. It was fuck. It's
Wait,
a
when
long
were you on
story,
that? No,
too.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to hear that
Tony,
story.
I don't like it. We're not friends.
Oh,
So yeah,
Okay.
he screwed me over.
all right.
But it was my fault. Like I should have been prepared. Either way, I was wearing this shirt, and he was like, "Ninja Turtle shirt," blah, blah, and I was like, "Yeah, I have a child because I have sex with women." And, like
Point.
it was like it wasn't. I didn't say that.
Ooh,
I didn't
points
say
for
that.
you.
But it's like that's how like you can hear me talk about this shirt on that stupid
nice
fucking
shirt.
podcast.
No, it's great. I love Ninja Turtles. I have like the box set, the old school box set.
I like the old
really?
Ninja Turtles.
DVD, yeah.
I had
Yeah.
the Nintendo game.
Oh yeah,
Good. You get
And you know
shell-shocked.
what? For Christmas, and this is funny.
You
Then you
remember.
know the new Ninja Turtles that came out, right? You
Yeah.
know, it wasn't terribly great, but it was fantastic for me because when I saw it in theaters, I saw it with my parents, and I was like 25 with my parents in the movie theater, just watching, you know, things I grew up with, and then I got the Blu-ray for Christmas, and they came with masks.
No way.
So I was wearing masks
cool.
all Christmas, just watching the movie. I was like, "This is great! This is awesome." I mean, I
Hey,
was
you're
really
never too old
stoned,
for that,
so
I'm
I was
telling
like,
you.
"Yeah, exactly." I mean, I got really high, but it was just like, "This is fantastic."
Dude, my
That's
son
cool.
loves Ninja Turtles too.
Oh yeah,
I mean, also not the second one.
Yeah.
And so, like, we get movies. I get them sent to me ahead of time before they hit theaters or whatever.
He's incredible.
So, so we got that one, and I was like, "Yes, dude, we're gonna watch this. It's gonna be awesome." Excuse me. And my son was pretty amped about it, but we put it on later at night, and it started, and then I look over, and he fell asleep, and I was like, "You know, I'm gonna screen this a little bit to see if he should watch it because
Yeah.
he's 5." And dude, Shredder's like knives flying at people. It's not really 5-year-old friendly. It's
No,
more
yeah.
like
No.
8 to 10 is okay for it, but really older. And it was cool. It was
Yeah.
a cool movie, but I'm like, I'm just gonna say the disc broke and we don't. fucking see
They
it
accidentally sent us Frozen. You don't want to watch that shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh,
I have
I
a
have
funny-
to shout out a movie I saw. It was
Oh, yeah.
so good. It was so good. What was it called? The Equalizer.
Oh, with
Yeah,
Denzel
with
Washington.
Yes, I was.
Oh,
did
how
you
was
see it?
that? No.
It was long. I always say that about every movie,
Yeah.
but
2 hours.
I've never heard
I
that
don't
sentence
sit
before.
still so well. It was so good. It was gory, bloody.
Yeah, that's
you
awesome.
know,
Was it? Oh,
But it was
We're in.
great.
yeah. I was like, oh,
It
it's gory
was
and bloody. That's
great.
all I needed to hear.
We just were like, but I couldn't remember. We didn't want to watch it because it was just so long. But
Oh, really?
I was like, oh, well, we'll play it, and we just like, this is the best movie ever. We couldn't stop
Wow.
watching. It was so
I
good.
wanna see that.
Yeah, one of the best movies I've seen, and I've
Ever?
ever, yeah.
Really?
And I've
Wow.
seen so many movies.
Yeah.
It reminded. Remember the movie we watched was like the Mark Wahlberg, like the shooting.
Two Guns
Two Guns? Was that what it was?
with Denzel.
Denzel?
No, the one where he's like a
Shooter?
sniper or something. Yeah,
Shooter.
Shooter. It was
Shooter.
gory like that. It was just bloody, but it was
I gotta
really,
watch that
really
one again.
good.
Shooter.
Watch The Equalizer.
I watched
Everyone.
Brick Mansions today.
How was that?
Yeah, it was actually it was horrible acting, horrible. But the action's alright.
Yeah. I saw
It was like
Heavyweights
Paul
yesterday.
Walker, Paul Walker's last
What
one.
Oh
was it
yeah,
called?
Paul Walker's last movie. That's right. Heavyweights. Do you remember that?
Oh, I think
You remember Heavyweights? Kids with Fat Camp.
No.
And it was like Ben Stiller in an early role where he was just like this manic gym guy, and he came into a fat camp to like reform it and just goes crazy
Oh,
with
no
these
way.
kids. It was
Oh my
great.
Why did you watch that?
I was hanging out with somebody and we
was
saw it,
smoking
and I was like,
hash with
Heavyweights.
Little
I haven't
Caesars
seen that. It's a
pizza.
terrible movie. I watched it and I was like, this sucks.
Since you-
But it was Judd Apatow's like early work.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Judd Apatow
So it was good?
worked on that movie. It was, I mean,
okay.
I mean, it was
Sometimes it's exciting
nostalgic.
to see-
It was nostalgic.
Yeah.
I'll tell
They
you that
always
much.
are.
Exactly, where
Judd's
you're just
movies
like,
always are.
what? I remember being 8 and watching this, and then I'm like, oh wait, this is a fat camp movie. This is terrible.
Have you ever been fat?
I have been what I thought was chunky, but I was never fat. Everyone in my family called me flaco, which in Spanish is skinny. So I was the thinner one out of myself and my brother.
Runt.
No, not the run. I was the tallest. I was always the tallest.
Good.
So even though I was skinny, I was always the tallest. I still am the tallest. But they're all Mexican, so no one goes above like 5'8".
5'9",
Yeah, it's
5'8".
That's
kind
like
of
5'9.5".
genetically, yeah, exactly.
But I
why
always
they have
towered
those
over my
heels.
I
family.
ate a little bit more cheeseburgers than they did, so I
Yeah.
grew up that 1 inch.
It's that growth hormone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why the Spanish wear those heels on their boots.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Maybe.
I don't do well with Latina chicks or black chicks.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is
Who
that?
do you do good with?
White chicks.
The rest.
Whites of the rest. Yeah, Asian chicks. My
no.
first girlfriend was like an Asian, a Korean. And I remember she was the girl I also lost my virginity to.
Sorry to hear
I
that.
was
for
8.
her.
Yeah, right. No, it was great. It was the second date. We go to South Mountain.
Second
And,
date.
yeah,
Oh.
second date. Blew my mind.
She
I
was
didn't
a
even think I was
prostitute.
going to get there.
Cost him a
I didn't think I was going to get
nights.
there, but second date, and we're over at South Mountain. I thought it was a great idea at 18 to take a girl to South Mountain to watch the sunset. It was so dumb. It was so
So
stupid.
free.
Yeah, right? Well, you can't buy alcohol, and I didn't smoke weed then, so it's like, what do I
What
take a
else
girl
you
to
gonna
do? Yeah. So we go to South Mountain, and we're making out in her car, and she's like, I don't feel comfortable doing this, and I just wanted to make out more. I was like, well, we got to find someplace to do this. And we couldn't go to like the night's not over yet. This is so
Right, you have to do it in your car. Okay.
Well, so
funny.
my house
so
didn't work
old.
out because my parents were there, and her place didn't work out because her parents were there. So I called a buddy up, and he had divorced parents, and his mom was out of town, so he was over at that place. And I was like, "Hey, man, is that cool if I use your mom's place to kind of mac on this chick?" And he goes, "Yeah, right." I was like, "Last resort, I need some place to make out."
Being young is a
Which is so
bitch.
yeah, it
No,
was
it's
so
the fucking
lame.
best. That's the best.
All I wanted to do is make out and maybe rubber vajayjay over her pants, just kind of
Dry. What is it
Exactly,
called?
dry humping.
There you go.
yeah.
What is it called?
Just
Well, I
were
just
such
said
a whore
dry.
growing up.
come in my boxers and then say goodnight and
Yeah.
and go home
Then
and think
brag
about
to
it.
your
Yeah,
friends.
exactly. Well, check it out. We go back to his place, and as I'm calling him, he goes, "Hey, man, do you want me to leave a condom?" I'm like, "No way, it's not gonna go there. I just met her." And he's like, "I'll leave one just in case, where I keep my weed in the cookie jar." And I was like, "Okay."
You knew exactly where that was.
So I
Dude,
know
don't
I knew
fuck with the
exactly
weed
where
like
that was.
that, man.
Yeah. I didn't, like I said, I didn't really smoke, and I hung out with him once. I was like, yeah, fuck it. So we go to his place and we make out. Then we get Quiznos because Quiznos is something you need
Yeah.
to fuel up.
Of course.
Yeah, you do.
So we go back to his place, start making out again. We go to I do a little tour of his house, which is dumb because I'm doing
Like
a tour of a house
MTV
I don't
Cribs.
live. Yeah, it's like, and this is my buddy. This is my buddy's bedroom. This is his guest
Opens the
room.
refrigerator. This is what we got in the
I hope you like
refrigerator.
this knitting kid over here.
This is where the magic is about to happen.
Yeah. So we started making out, and she's kind of like giving me like a little handy, and she goes, "Do you have a condom?" And those words just sparked in my head, and I was like, "I'll be right back." And I shuffle out with my pants around my
So
legs,
hard.
go to the cookie jar, and come back. And she has like this
Shuffle it.
look of shock. She's just like, "What?" And I had a condom sitting in my hand, and I was like, "Yeah, I have one right here." And she was like, "Well, I guess like I tricked her in a riddle, like it was like in The Hobbit or something." Where it was just like, "Do you have a condom?" "Yes, I do." Oh
The
fuck!
answer
All right.
is-
Well, damn it. Okay. Yeah, the answer is.
Yes.
Riddle me this. Is your cock going inside me? Yes, it is. So I slapped it on, and 45 minutes later, I'm not bragging.
What?
I'm
For
not
your
bragging.
first
Yeah,
time?
yeah. 45 minutes later, feeling great. I was like, wow, this is way longer than I ever thought. I was
I'm
cool with 5.
exhausted.
Maybe
I was
that's
cool
like
with
a
5
Latin-
minutes. Yeah, I was
Latin
like, this
lover
is
kinda
ridiculous.
thing.
I think
But it was
5
all
minutes-
missionary. It was nothing crazy. It was just like that high school, like rocking back and
Okay.
forth.
No one really knew what to do
Yeah.
next.
I never finished because I pulled out and the condom got stuck. And I pulled out and it got stuck inside her, and I was like, oh, this is weird. So I kind of yanked it out, just yanked it out.
So many people have that story.
And I go, hey, is it cool if I throw it back on? I wanted to be polite, but I didn't know what to say. So it's like, is that cool if I throw it? And she was like, no, we're done. And that was my first time. It was just like, no, we're done. Okay. And I gave her a hug, drove her back. Yeah, exactly. Got an
why
acne
not?
kiss. And then that was it. And then we dated for like 3 months.
All right,
I
cool.
hope it got better.
Oh yeah, and at that age, it's like I just found sex. Like this is my favorite hobby.
Yeah.
This is all I'm doing.
boy.
Do you want to hang out today? I found a park that no one's gonna find us in. We got busted by the police once because I left my headlights on.
Did they
Yeah.
let you off of the warning?
Yeah, they did, but like it was so awkward because she wore a skirt, so she could just cover up. For me, like I got caught like in the middle of it, so all I did was drape my underpants over my
Right.
crotch. Like it would work. Like yeah, this will fool him. Like just having it over my.
You should have worn a skirt too.
I know.
Lesson learned.
I wish I was Scottish,
That's why they do it.
so they can fuck discreetly. It's a cultural thing.
Well, I hear they're a
But
fun
it used to
group.
be walked in in the barn. Now we got kilts. That reminds me of Gordon.
I
that
like
reminds me of
him.
Gordon.
We
Yeah,
gotta get
Gordon's
him
great.
On here.
Oh,
Yeah.
it'd be great if people could understand them for an
That's
hour.
my favorite part of him. I'll
That's also
translate.
what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
What if you had a
part.
That's a
translator
very
on the side?
thick
What
Scottish
if, yeah. What if
accent.
you had a translator on the side?
I
I was like, "This is shite, man," and I.
Maybe Surrey can.
He said, "This is
translate.
It'd be our
bullshit."
first episode with like DVD commentary from a
Yeah.
translator because look, he speaks English. Obviously, he's Scottish. They speak English, but the accent is so thick.
Yeah, he's
Just
got a
subtitle
thick
video,
accent.
just like no.
Whenever
Yeah.
I've seen him perform, I enjoy it because his accent.
He's
is
great,
just-
yeah.
No, I don't know what he says.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's really animated. His accent.
That is okay.
His
Sorry.
accent is so cool. But other than that, I mean, I don't know if he's funny.
I really wish I had
He
a
is
cool
funny.
accent.
I always wanted a
You were an
Boston
accident.
accent.
Yeah,
I've always wanted a Boston accent.
What do you have instead?
No, I nothing. People think I'm from the East Coast, but
Why?
I'm not. From California. I don't know.
West Coast.
I don't know. My parents are from the East Coast. I guess that's why. But
No,
I don't.
You don't. No,
I don't
you
get
have
the
a
East Coast-
deep voice. That's
Dude,
why.
a lot of people are
It's
like,
your
where
deep
are you
voice.
from the East Coast?
I think it's the
like
attitude.
Los Angeles.
I think it's the attitude, dude. You just have
Really?
that
Fuck
like,
you attitude
yo,
with
I
a
don't
deep
give a fuck.
voice.
You know, hey,
I don't give
yo,
a fuck.
Donnie, fucking bring some cheesesteaks in the fucking 12 pack. Hey, Donnie, it's just.
That actually sounds
Maybe.
delicious.
Oh yeah, doesn't it? Doesn't it? It sounds
Maybe
great.
you are from the East Coast.
No. I'm a West Coast guy. I don't
California.
particularly
You know what you were
love the
told.
East Coast.
What part of Cali?
Los Angeles.
Oh, okay, so you're from the thick of it.
Yeah.
That's dope.
The thick of things, man. I'm a West Coast guy.
Thick of it.
I don't think I could ever live on the East Coast for longer than 2 weeks.
Never been.
You've never been to the East
Never
Coast?
been.
Fucking Dan.
I know.
God damn it,
I
man.
hear that a lot.
Have you been to California?
Oh
LA
yeah,
stuff? All right.
LA.
Have you
I've been to
comedy
LA.
out
I've
there?
done the Comedy Store.
You have?
I did the potluck, but I knew. Sorry, I know Ryan Goldfinger.
Okay.
I don't know why I said I knew him. He's like my best friend, but yeah, I knew him. We're done now, buddy. Fuck you. I hope you're listening.
Points.
No, I know him, and he used to manage that place for 2 years.
Yeah.
So when I went with him, he was still like known in the store, so I got a spot at the potluck. Really shitty. It was in front of like 3 guys and
Yeah.
like 20 comedians.
That pie looks.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Everyone wants to do it. They all want to be on it, but dude, it's like the worst mic.
Oh, yeah.
ever.
It's,
No
terrible.
one's listening to you. There literally is maybe 4 people at most that aren't comics that are in the room, and they're only there for the shit that happens after the potluck, like when it's
Yeah.
family night or the what is it? People that work there, friends and family.
Yeah, friends and
Industry?
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to be at the store, they're just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what's going on tonight? Oh, weird. This is all right."
It's really a social club. That's the one thing I was fascinated by when I went over there. It was just watching like what we have over here where comics just, shoot the shit in the parking lot but over there it's like you can go anywhere in the club.
Yeah,
You can go up to the belly room or you can, go to the main room and you can kind of just explore. Once you're, within that circle of friends, you can kind of just network and explore different
it's one of the
aspects,
coolest
but-
places in
But
the world.
yeah, it's almost like a membership only thing where you kind of got to eat shit enough times to join that club.
Yeah. Like my thing, the first time I did comedy, I never did the store, ever. Never went over there. I was a Laugh Factory guy. So I did there and then the improvs, but never the comedy store.
How is the Laugh Factory?
It's great. I mean, yeah, I can't ever knock it. I love the Laugh
yeah.
Factory. It's so different because now this time around, I'm only doing the store when I go out there. I don't do the Laugh Factory. And it's just it's so different. It's a world I can't even compare the two. I mean, the Laugh Factory, comics hang out upstairs, but when I say comics, it's like 2 or 3 guys
Oh, really?
just sitting around bullshitting,
Yeah.
waiting to do their spot. Then they do it, they get the fuck out of there. Comedy
yeah.
store is, I'm at the store tonight at 10:30. That's when my spot is. Then I'm gonna fucking hang out for another hour or 2.
Yeah.
and just on the patio, the front patio, the back patio, doesn't matter, man. It's like it's just there's a show going on in almost every room. The main room, not always, but at least the original room, there's always something going on. The belly room, there's always something crazy going on.
Oh,
in there.
yeah. I saw Don Barris's podcast
Oh,
when
dude,
I went there. It
the
was-
Ding Dong Show.
yeah, that was great. Oh, my God. It was fantastic. And Russell Peters sat right next to me.
Yeah. Dude,
And that,
that's the coolest thing
Yeah.
about that club. Is look, the Laugh Factory brings big names, but the Comedy Store does too. But those guys hang out,
yeah.
and you can literally just be hanging
We were
out.
in the back, too. It wasn't even anywhere close. It was in the back, and he just pops a squat. You're right, yeah. The comedians over there, they're huge, but they hang out.
Dude, and it's all right. So I explained this a couple weeks ago, and excuse me, I was kind of describing what it's like to date a comic and how it's really tough for somebody to understand the lifestyle. What I meant by that is even if we're not on a particular show, like we're not on, and we're not booked for anything for one night. Let's say it's a I don't know, a Thursday night. We're not booked on anything. But then we're still going to the comedy club. But then the person you're seeing is like, but you're not even working tonight. You're not on. It's like, it's not about that. It's networking. It's getting out there. It's talking to comics. It's just showing your face to the owner that you're there and you give a shit. It's to the managers, they see you. Like, if you're sitting on the patio and talking, you never know who could show up.
Yep.
That's what it's about. This is our job. We work at night. Sorry that it doesn't match up with everybody else's work schedule. But we don't give you shit when you have to work during the day. Because you're working. Yeah. We just happen to be working at this time. So it's difficult. But that's a huge part of it, and the Comedy Store is that. Yeah. It's networking to the fucking fullest. Yeah. I'll go there, man, and excuse me. Like, I'll do Moses' show on Tuesdays, and, you get 3 minutes. So you go up, and you want to do really well. But the show that follows, like Moses does this open mic on Tuesdays, but it's a lottery, but mostly people he knows, and he just puts them on. And so maybe like 5 people actually literally get pulled out of a hat, but the rest is big names and cool. It's just fun. After that is his roast battle, which is the biggest show in LA. It's insane. So you do his show and hope that people are watching you. And then at the same time, it's like, after the show, after the roast battle, I'm going downstairs. I'm going to fucking talk to this guy and this guy, because who knows if I'm going to see him again. And it's as a comic, you can do that. It's the easiest fucking icebreaker in the world to just be like, hey, I'm Kevin, I'm a comic. They're like, oh shit, I'm Jay Leno, dude, I'm a comic too. Let's fucking talk. It's that easy, and it's the greatest fucking thing in the world.
It's interesting, yeah. They kind of let their guard down, or at least are more accepting. I remember Eric Griffin from like Workaholics, who plays Montez. I saw him at the Comedy Store, and I was like, hey man, I caught you at the Tempe Improv. You're great. And over at the Comedy Store, he was like, oh man, you saw that? Man, I wasn't feeling this, or man, I was feeling this, and he got really into it. But when I saw him at Stand Up Live, and I said the same thing, I was like, yo, I saw you at the Comedy Store. I could tell that because he was in a different city and kind of like in his like road element, he was kind of like, oh, thanks man, appreciate it. Kind of just like, and I was like, all right, well, whatever. But
I will say this about Eric's. He's a nice guy. He's also an asshole at the same time.
Yeah, well, who isn't when you're starting? It's just like, I gotta make sure people take me seriously, but I imagine like some of them still want to retain that kind of humble demeanor. But dude, you get shat on if you're too nice. I mean,
yeah,
I feel like in my opinion, I mean, I could be wrong.
I remember we talked about like when you worked at Stand Up Live, and we talked about Palladino worked, I think, at the Improv, so we had stories from him about working there. But you and I had a conversation about comics that run long, because then you just have to fucking stay, and we both shouted out Ralphie's name at the same time. Yeah. So, like, when he's scheduled, dude, you got to sit and just wait until he's done, because he runs long as shit. Yeah. And so explain to everybody that's listening, when you work at a comedy club, what that does, like the whole behind the scenes, because everyone that's there is loving it. Like, holy shit, he's going overtime. This is the greatest thing ever. Yeah. But as somebody that works at the club, it's like...
Yeah. Okay, so at the comedy club, and I think this applies to like every comedy club, not just Stand Up Live, so I don't want to feel like I'm...
No, it does. You're right. It does.
I don't want to feel like I'm picking on them. But at a comedy club, you are driven to sell drinks and food. That's how you make your business. That's how, that's why they have a 2-drink minimum, and they want you to go above that 2-drink minimum as a business. Well, at a Ralphie show... At a certain point, people are going to be done buying drinks and food. And you can only do so much to either prepare for the end of the night before you kind of just stand there and wait for the comic to end so you can get stuff done. So when Ralphie goes like 2 hours over, 3 hours over, we are just stuck there kind of scratching our ass with people above us yammering about selling and pushing, and it's like, dude, no one wants to do anything. They're all done buying shit.
So they're still telling you press All the people that are
Yeah.
sitting there,
They're
and
just
keep
like,
buying
hey,
drinks and
sell
food.
another shot, sell another dessert, do this. And it's like,
Another
yo, man,
dessert.
I can't. Like, there's nothing else I can do. Or let's say it's, yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's say it's like 1:30 in the morning and you know you're not getting out until 3. You're just like, holy shit, wrap it up. Like, I'm trying to go home. Because as much as I love comedy and I like seeing Ralphie May go up, when I haven't slept for like 24 hours, him getting off the fucking stage is the only thing I want.
So I have Ralphie. First of all, he's an incredible comedian.
Yeah.
One of the funniest dudes ever.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
I've had the pleasure to work with Ralphie, and dude, he doesn't give a shit about how long they tell you to go. I guess.
Yeah.
Like normally the headliner does 45. That's the contract minimum time you have to do. But like if a show starts at 7:30, the second show starts at 9:30 or 10, Ralphie doesn't give a fuck.
Oh, no.
He just
No, he
says,
doesn't.
Dude, I'm going long. Tell everybody outside they'll get the same show.
Yeah.
And for you, it's like, no.
Oh, no. But I know from experience, as soon as I hear his name coming up within the month, I'm just like, that's the day I'm going home at 4 a.m. I'm not doing anything else, just working a Ralphie show.
Who else notoriously goes long?
Carlos Mencia.
Yeah, but he's a douche.
Yeah. He's a nice guy in person because he'll want to party with you and stuff, but yeah, he goes on way too long. And
Yeah.
he just annoys the shit out of me.
He did a friend of mine got booked at the Improv. I think it was the Hollywood Improv. Either way, it was out in LA. He got booked, showed up for his spot, and Mencia was on before him. Mencia did 3.5 hours.
Oh, that sounds about right.
And he was like, dude, I'm leaving. Like, I was supposed to be up 2 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you're not going to kick this guy off? Like, no, because he was crushing. I mean, he's doing
Yeah,
well.
the
People are
guy's gonna
laughing.
be killing
But
it.
it's like, dude, you went 3 hours and 15 minutes longer than you were supposed to. It's supposed to be 15-minute sets. So, yeah, that's what Mencia does. He goes over. He also steals a bunch of jokes and doesn't give a shit. You got to pee? Yeah, let's hit pause.
Oh, okay, I didn't want to like.
No, we'll pause
I didn't
it
want
and
to
then
say
we'll-
anything.
You start talking.
Oh, okay. So we took a short break. Dan held Kevin's weenie. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. To go pee, and you clogged the toilet with your pee. Now Kevin's creeping over this family, and he's going to tell you why.
Well, we'll start because Dan has a goddaughter.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Son?
I'm sorry.
Goddaughter. Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, it was never official, but it's kind of like a verbal contract where
There's
it's
no
like.
DNA in that. So
Well, I was
whatever
there
you're
when that
into.
baby was born. I remember staying 24
We
hours
were all in
in
the
that hospital.
elevator.
Yeah, right. There's 15 of us packed in a sedan. We're all Mexican, by the way, so yeah.
It was a Prius.
Yeah. No, I was there 24 hours while that baby was being born, and not once did I catch a wink of sleep because every time the recliner in the room got freed up, someone else would swoop in
Damn
unexpectedly, and I was just like, God damn it, I want to sleep. But the baby was born, and I got to hold it. I was like the second person to hold it, and now she's like 6.
Whoa,
Blows
cool.
my mind, yeah.
Man, so you were 19 when all that was going down, dude. It's a young buck.
It wasn't my baby though. It's a goddaughter, not a.
That's poor guys have that role of sleeping in the recliner at the hospital. That just
yeah.
sucks.
Dude, it fucking sucks. Recliner, I wish.
Yeah.
There was no recliner at our hospital
up.
when my son
Stand
was
up.
born.
Oh yeah.
I slept on, they're like, oh, we have like a cot bench. I'm like, that's just a bench. There's
But
no
flamingo,
cot without it.
you just stand.
Throw a pillow on it.
Yeah.
It's a cot bench.
And there was nothing more I wanted to do than go home and sleep in my own bed.
Oh.
The first night my son was born, because he was born multiple nights.
All the nights.
Next week he's
My
gonna be
son
born.
was my son was born at night, like 8 o'clock, nothing super late.
Right, he is your son.
So,
He was born not partying.
so that night they move us. They have the whole like your delivery room, whatever, which really looks nothing different than the Jesus Nance,
Sorry.
than old lady getting up. The room that you deliver in at the hospital that we had my son is no different than the room that they then move you to. So it's like, why are we going?
We could have stayed.
Yeah, it's like, just to be a pain in the ass, we're going to move all these people.
Into the exact same looking room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your insurance doesn't cover the same room. It covers both rooms.
So we get there like 10 o'clock at night. Now, my wife at the time married, so my wife sleeping in the bed, my son sleeping in that one little weird shitty thing they put babies in.
Yeah.
The nursery?
Now,
It's like a plastic
yeah,
shoebox with a fucking
Like a plastic nursery.
Yeah.
It's called the nursery.
And then me sleeping on the bench. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we get woken up by this huge nurse woman. Just like, she should have been Scottish. But she's like, what are you guys doing? We're like, we're sleeping. We're obviously sleeping. The lights are off. Please leave us alone. She's like, when's the last time you fed your baby? And we're like, I don't know, like at 10. She's like, he's brand new. You need to feed him like every 2 or 3 hours. Like, oh shit, dude, it was 4 in the morning when she came in. My son slept through the night the first night.
Yeah.
I'm like, this dude's golden. I love this kid.
Mess with that. You don't change that.
But she lit a fire under us
Really?
and would come in every hour and a half, 2 hours. Be like, you awake? You awake? Do it now. Feed him. Feed him. Feed him.
Bitch.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
what?
I'd
Yeah.
kick her out. No tip.
Jesus, yeah.
Dude,
No tips from Jesus
the
for
shitty
her.
thing,
Use your
we were there.
titties.
We
I'm
showed
not
up at
gonna
3.
do that. Yeah, I'm over this.
Feed
Yeah,
him.
I'm sleeping.
That's why I'm here paying you
Yeah,
guys.
right.
You fucking feed him.
We showed up at 3 in the morning, because that's when she thought her water broke. I think she pissed the bed, but yeah,
I'll make that argument sometimes.
because it wasn't a lot, and I'm like,
Something broke.
Yeah.
shouldn't be drinking when you're pregnant. So,
For two.
so we go at 3 in the morning. All morning and day, we have the same nurse that keeps coming in, checking my wife, dilated, this, that, and the other. Nicest lady in the world. But my son, again, wasn't born until like 8 o'clock at night. Her shift was over. New nurse comes in. We do the whole born thing, or give birth. Next morning, the woman, same nurse, comes back. She's like, hey, just wanted to check on you. I'm back. Like, want to check, make sure everything's okay. You guys are good. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much, Sandy. Her name was Nancy. Or Sally or something. It was Sally or Nancy. Either way, I got it wrong. I spent all day with her the day before, and the look on her face was like, you ungrateful motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to take this baby from you. You don't give a shit about anything. And I had to go back. I apologized a million times.
She probably thought you were one of those
Because
guys like,
that
hey,
day
thanks,
was about
Sally,
her,
or
and not
fucking
about you and your
Sam,
kid
I
being
don't know.
born or your wife at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It was about her. Ay, that's work.
You don't remember my name? I'm sorry. My fucking wife was giving birth to a child. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I didn't remember your name.
Dude, so listen to this. This isn't my son, thank God. I became enamored with this girl I met and her family. And the reason being is, met this girl and she's a triplet. And I was like, that's weird. I've never met a triplet before. Then, as I started to talk to her, get to know her, she tells me I had, when I was 15, I got pregnant and had a child. The crazy thing is, one of my other sisters of the triplets also got pregnant, had a child 6
15?
days. Yeah, 6 days difference. I was like, is it the same dude? Like, what? How does that happen?
How does that happen?
I don't know. So they have these kids, young, 15 years old,
Yeah.
man, have kids.
Those guys were twins. It turns out those guys were twins.
Turns out, it wasn't
Weird.
the same guy, but it was like the same night.
Yeah.
Dude, it
It was
was
his dad and his grandpa.
so they have these young kids. The third one didn't have a child till later in life. She was like 25. Got this message from the girl. I haven't talked to this girl in probably a year, 2 years, whatever. Got a random message from her. Hey, how you doing? And I was like, I'm great. I don't know. For me, it's the same old same. I don't do anything like that's extravagant. So when you ask me, hey, how you been? It's the same shit every single time. So I'm like, how have you been? She's like, just things are crazy. All right, she's 30 now. So her son is 15. She tells me her son is what happened. All right, her son got his girlfriend pregnant. And so she's going to be a 30-year-old grandmother.
Jesus.
Right?
That's crazy. I'm 25, and imagining having a grandchild in like 5 years
Dude.
is mind-blowing.
Whoa.
Yeah, could you...
but that's cool because it's like you have little
No,
ones to
fuck
play
that.
with.
You're 25. Can you imagine having a 10-year-old?
No, holy shit.
Right?
Oh.
Fucking 30-year-old.
Imagine the genetics that are pushing that kid. That entire family to like fuck at 15. To,
She's
like,
going to get to be a
kid.
great, maybe great grandmother.
Like in their blood, it's like programmed for them like at 15 to just stick their dick or pussy in and on
Right, like
everything.
they
Dude,
sleepwalk.
she told me
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
She told me that, and I was like, I need to discontinue all conversations. I can't have this
You
around
need
my
to
life.
stop procreating in any.
Wait, she was
form.
worried about you?
No. I was enamored with them because I'm like, wow, triplets, and then you had kids.
Now I
so
get it.
young
It's like
and
a
this, that.
scientific thing.
Yeah, but now I'm like, all right.
When
now
I hear
this is-
enamored with a family, I picture you like on the tree branch across the street, like Back to the Future style, where he's just watching them through the binoculars.
You can't let
enamored
yourself
by this
see
family.
yourself, though. They can't. The
Oh,
kids
no,
can't
yeah.
meet their. What would they be to the kids?
Wow.
Grandparents?
What do you mean?
Dude,
Okay,
those
wait.
those grandkids would
so
grow
weird.
up in a world where
can
everyone's
hang
parents
out.
are the same age as their grandparents.
Like the whole family could just hang out, and it
Yeah.
wouldn't be a big deal. Like everybody gets carded. Grandma,
Holy shit.
kid, mom.
Are they white? Is this a
Yeah.
white family?
Yeah.
That's the blackest white family I've ever heard of. Holy shit!
Crazy, man.
Wait, Nancy, what's your kid story? I remember we started with her and her.
Okay, so I took my kids to Build-A-Bear the other day. I don't like the mall.
No,
I don't prefer people.
Oh, I go to the zoo.
I hate-
I throw my son the exhibit. I say, build a beer, fucker.
Fucking hate buying my kids shit. So they take me to Build-A-Bear. And
Yeah.
So you buy an empty bear. It's not stuffed. It's not dressed. It's nothing. So we build this bear.
Like the skin of a bear.
Yeah, bear skin. You just throw it on the ground. It's a rug. So we build the bear, and the lady comes up to my daughter and says, "Oh no, I think you have a bear with a broken leg." I'm like, "Where are you going with this?
Yeah.
What's going on here?" We sell casts now. We just got them in. Casts, crutches, and a wheelchair. So I buy an empty bear. I stuff it. I buy clothes for the bear. I buy a cast for the bear,
Oh, no.
crutches, and a fucking wheelchair.
Yeah.
Like, do I need to take the bear to the vet? in a few
Yeah.
months?
Is the bear on your health insurance
Fuck
right
you.
now?
Can I
Yeah.
insure this bear? It's a stuffed animal. I
Next
prefer to
month is
throw
the
it away.
diabetic bear, where you buy him
Oh,
a
God,
shot
I can't
every
eat
week,
sugar.
and you have to give him
Bear's on medication.
insulin, which is just fur that you inject into his arm.
tranquilizers.
Yeah.
Hopefully it hibernates, and that'll give me off of a few months of pain.
I have Chemo Bear, where I buy a mini radiation device.
bald.
Yeah. He has
more
no eyebrows. He's a little skinnier than most bears. Yeah.
Yeah, so
His
what would have
jaundice.
cost me the $15 I didn't want to spend? And I have 2 kids, so keep in mind, everything's times 2.
no.
So this is $150 times 2.
Yeah.
I could have bought them like a real pet,
Oh, wow.
like a cat or a
Dude, I'm waiting
dog
for the
or a
asshole
bear,
that
maybe.
sells you. I'm waiting for the asshole that
real
sells you
bear.
the paraplegic bear and tells you that the bear can't walk. It's like you're telling me a stuffed animal can't fucking walk and he has to buy a wheelchair. Fuck you.
I own a wheelchair
Yeah.
for something that already can't
They're gonna have the
walk.
Michael Palladino bear where it comes with a walker. It comes with a walker and a fucking knee brace and a bad beard.
We'll do
It's gonna be
benefit
great.
shows for
Yeah.
him. It's going to crush, dude. It's going to crush.
We're holding a charity benefit.
Donate
for my
Build-A-Bear bucks.
We're gonna run a marathon, but
Yeah.
maybe not a full marathon.
Exactly.
Maybe like a lap.
Put bear bones inside his
Around
bear
the mall.
body so you can get a bear leg.
Yeah. So this bitch at the Build-A-Bear
God
told
damn
my
it. That
kid
fucking.
that the bear that can't walk broke its fucking leg.
What a.
So shitty.
Sucks.
It's so stupid.
Who does that? Who's like, you know what, I'm going to con some family into getting their fucking teddy bear some Medicare. I'm going to make them sign him
Thank
up as a
goodness my bear
dependent
is
so
on
I can get some
Access.
shit on
I
that.
have the Access Bear, welfare bear. You know, it looks like
Welfare
it looks
bear.
like he's gonna be all right after all. Just walk it
Yeah,
off.
and once he hits 30, he'll have grandkids, so it'll be great.
Oh shit, that is
Welfare
fucking
bear.
awesome.
Yeah.
We gotta end there. Dan and I
Okay.
have to get to a show.
All right.
Again, Dan, where can everybody follow you, find you? What's going on? With
You can follow me on Twitter at Dan Amaro Comedy and on Instagram at Dan_Amaro_comedy, and Amaro is AMARO. And then you can catch me on this show at Endgame on February 4th. It's going to be all nerd humor. All geek based humor. I'm a
twice
big
the
Star
stuff we
Wars
talk
fan,
about.
like I said earlier, so it's going to be a great night. But like I said, February 4th at Endgame on Mill Avenue.
Fuck
So,
yeah. Everybody go. He's fucking awesome. Dan's comedy is one of the best. I'm a huge fucking fan of yours. And God, you're so funny. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you on next week.
This has been another great presentation by the 4-Eyed Radio Network. You can find more information at 4eyedradio.com.